What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live Show. I'm LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank all the new subscribers for coming by to my channel, man. It is truly, truly appreciated. Right, so football season is back. Football season is back, and the G-Men we're rocking and rolling tonight, going against the Detroit Lions for their first preseason game. Oh, man, it feels great to have football back, right? But the Giants fall tonight 21-16, right? But the key to this is this, man. We're not here to look for wins and losses. We want to look at the new players. We want to look at the young players. Of course, we know it's preseason, so most of our star players are not going to play. Daniel Jones, he did not play tonight. Of course, Saquon Barkley did not play tonight. Dexter Lawrence didn't play. Leonard Williams, the list goes on and on. Darius Slayton, all our top guys did not play. Andrew Thomas. But what we did get to see is we got to see our rookies play. We saw Deontay Banks, he was out there. We saw Jalen Hyatt, he was out there. John Michael Schmitz. And, of course, we saw Trey Hawkins III, who's been all the rave in preseason camp, right? Just everyone's been talking about him, the kid from ODU, who's possibly going to get a lot of playing time this year, opposite Deontay Banks and Adoree Jackson, right? So it's extremely, extremely exciting to see a lot of these guys play. So let's get straight to the highlights, right? So, man, hey, look, man, it's preseason. You're going to have your hiccups. But this was big time, right? First play of the game, Jason Pinnock, who's also been the talk of the camp, comes up with a big-time interception to start off the game. This is just beautiful. Perfect way to lead your introduction is pretty much let the world know that I'm going to be starting opposite Xavier McKinney, right? So that was awesome for him, right? But for me, what I love to see is I love to see the young guys out there. I thought Trey Hawkins looked really, really good. Extremely excited about his upside. He's a big corner, came out of nowhere, but he's doing awesome in camp. And I like Deontay Banks as well. We should be extremely excited about what our future is going to be. Now, of course, this is a preseason game one. We don't want to jump out the window, but you got to be pretty impressed by how well those guys played, right? On their first time with the lights on, bright lights, playing on television, playing in their dream of becoming an NFL player. Did pretty well. They did pretty well. So I'm pretty excited about that. Also, too, a guy, Tommy DeVito, man, local kid from Don Bosco, right? Did really, really well today. His stats line was pretty good. He was 15 for 24, 155 yards, one touchdown, and one INT at the end of the game. But he was solid, man. Listen, in the first half, he was getting the ball thrown around, right? He was pretty much hitting, Cole Beasley, Jay Crowder. He was using a lot of veterans, guys who he knows and he trusts who are going to be there. And the Giants were driving the ball. They couldn't come up with a couple of key time touchdowns, but field goals were good. Those are points. But he did throw his touchdown to Sweeney, who's actually another Don Bosco product, right from Jersey here. So both of those two Don Bosco guys, just living their dream, man, connected on a touchdown, right? So that was great to see. A big concern, even though they're backups. I mean, can Cunningham and Wyatt Davis block anybody? I mean, hey, look, man. I understand their backups. I get it. But they're trying to make it in this league, and they have to do a better job. I mean, Tommy DeVito in the second half was just running for his life. He had no time to throw the ball. A couple of times he found Davis Stills, a couple of openings, but that was basically it, man. He was on his back the whole night, right? He just couldn't do anything in the second half. So that was tough. That was really, really tough to see. You saw Brian Dable a couple of times on the sidelines screaming at guys for them to pretty much get it together, lower their shoulder pads. I mean, geez. I mean, it was kind of hard to watch at times, right? But we get it. It's preseason. Guys are trying to figure out their roles. And let's face it, guys, a lot of these guys are not going to be on the team, right? But it was good to see a lot of young players. It's good to see Jalen Hyatt out there. I think he had one pass thrown to him. I'm not sure. But he was out of there quick. We don't want guys to get injured. But all in all, it was good to see. So two things that I kind of took out of this, like I mentioned, the corners. One thing, John Michael Schmitz looks like a baller. He looks like he's the goods. He really, really does. I like him in that middle there. He was holding up his blocks really, really well. Wasn't getting pushed back. He was, just holding his ground, right? So he's going to be a good piece to what it is that we're trying to build as far as our line with Andrew Thomas, of course, and Evan Neal over there. I think the Giants are going to be set, right? So we just need a couple of good pieces on the line, a couple of young guys we could probably draft or, just get younger. That's the key, right? So I like how we did. We might have to look for another linebacker to go off, opposite Bobby Courier. I know Beavers didn't play tonight. McFadden, he was out there. He looked okay. At times, Coughlin was out there. But you're going to have to find someone in free agency, I think. I don't know if I trust Beavers yet. And McFadden, he had decent times last year. He made decent plays, but he was up and down a lot. So I'm not sure, opposite Bobby Courier, if we have someone that's dependable to play next to him for 17 weeks, right? Let's be honest, right? So that's my biggest concern, that middle linebacker, right? I know they were looking at Anthony Barr. I mean, he's more of like a rush end type of player. I don't know if that followed through. There's reports of that. Joe Shane flagged it and said that's not happening. So I don't think the Giants are going to look into him, but we got to look into somebody, because I do think that could be a problem for us throughout the season. If we don't have someone opposite him, and if he goes down or gets hurt, we're going to be in a lot of trouble, right? So I think that's something the Giants should definitely be looking at. But all in all, man, I like what I saw. There was glimpses of O'Shea Jimenez, Trey Fox. He was, Timon Fox, excuse me. He was making a lot of big plays off the edge, So guys look solid. They did. Can't get, it's first preseason game, but they did look solid. So you have to be happy with that. Dane Belton had a pick tonight, so he did well as well. But all in all, I like what I see. I really, really do. I also liked Eric Gray. He looks solid as well. I do like him returning kicks. Don't put Adoree Jackson back there. We have a guy now. I think Eric Gray will be solid back there. He looked pretty good returning kicks. Also, too, we got to figure out what we're going to do with this slot corner here. I mean, Darnay Holmes or Cordell Flott. I don't know what's going on with Cordell Flott, man. This feels very eerily similar last year to what was going on with Darius Slayton, right? Not being sure what his role was, and people were saying, where's Slayton? Why isn't he playing? This is the same deal with Cordell Flott. And what I get sometimes is guys, they don't buy in sometimes to what, Dable and Wink and all these guys are doing. And so, they might be in the doghouse. I don't know. Speculation, but I'm just saying. So we got to see exactly what's that, because he made a great play today in the end zone, but he's not playing a lot. So I don't know if it's going to be his job or Darnay Holmes, if they're going to cut one of those guys. I'm not sure, because the way Trey Hawkins is playing, and Adoree Jackson and Deonte Banks, I could see those three out there being our three corners, and then putting possibly Adoree Jackson at the slot. He's got the skills to do it. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but that's kind of it's kind of eerie thing. It's weird, I don't know what's going on with the Cordell Flott and the Darnay Holmes, so we got to see how that works out. But all in all, I like what I saw. I do. There's a lot of upside, a lot of promising things, some concerns, but that's normal for preseason game. You're going to see some of those things. Some players are going to really stand out and shine. Some players not so much, right? So, but all in all, it was a great day. I think it was good, even though they didn't get the win. You saw a lot of promising things from these young players, right? But listen, I'm LV Live. That's my show. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, people, right? Also, too, if it's your first time coming by, please leave comments, right? And also, too, please subscribe, all right? I'm LV Live, and that's my show, and I'm out, people. Peace.